Hey guys, it's Marisol with Soul Stitchery, and today is Wednesday, so you know what that means. Another installment of our one quilt from start to finish. Now today's going to be a little bit different because I recorded this video earlier, and due to some kind of technical difficulties, of which I'm not even sure what they were, there was no audio to the video. So I cut everything and matched everything and did all this talking, and it's not usable. So today's episode, we're going to talk about coordinating colors with the prints that we picked. If you haven't been following along, we're doing one quilt from the very, very beginning, picking a pattern, all the way to the end, binding and labeling. So, 2 episodes ago, we picked the pattern. It turns out that Shipwrecked by Jennifer McClanahan with Sweet Tea Pattern Company is the pattern that everybody voted on. I happen to love it. I love a white background. I love squares on point. So this quilt really speaks to me. I'm glad that that was the unanimous vote. My first choice and my first dilemma once the pattern was picked was, what size am I going to make? So a lot of people focus on a particular size of quilt that they like to make. They like to make crib size quilts or throws. I'm a full size, queen size kind of a girl. For those of you that don't know, full or double size beds are a little bit smaller than queen, much bigger than twin. So they're kind of between twin and queen. That's the size I'm going to make. It calls for 15 fat quarters for the focal print, which I picked out of the Tula's Besties line. So I picked all of the prints from that line, with the exception, I think, of Sitting Pretty and Chubby Cheeks. Those are the two that I did not use, or I won't be using in this quilt. We did pick the background fabric, so we're going to be using Tula Pink's Fairy Dust in white. It's pictured on this quilt too, on the sample in the front. She did use Everglow for this picture, but we're using Besties. So last week we picked focus prints, we picked background, we decided what size we're going to make. This week we are picking all the coordinating colors that are going to go around those beautiful featured prints in the middle of these big blocks. So, as I said, technical difficulties, no audio. So I'm just going to go through what I picked here. You can see some of these beautiful colors. As you know, I carry Art Gallery fabric, pure solids in the shop. Those are the solids that we carry. And so these solids are really, really great. I mean, there's very little fray on these. The colors are rich and beautiful. The thread count is wonderful. The fabric is so soft and yummy. And so I'm going to use all Art Gallery pure solids for those borders. So let's start from the very beginning. I did duplicate, and I will be doing 2 blocks with each feature print that I chose. So there'll be 2 of this print. This is the Hop to It print in Blossom. Look at those cute bunnies, right? So I usually look at that print and I will decide, oh, this is a nice color. There's not a whole lot of it in the print. Maybe I can do something with that and make it pop. I also look and see if there is a theme, right? So this is very pink and red and those kind of colors. And I try to pick my contrasting colors based on colors that are in the print and minimally shown. So in this particular case, what I did was I focused on the highlights in the ears in this bunny, as well as the color of the bunny itself, the body of the bunny. So I decided that I was going to go with Pure Solids Quartz Pink for one border on one of those blocks. And that just looks so pretty together. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? So one of them will be Quartz Pink to pull out the body of the bunnies. So inside there's this very light pale pink, which matches perfectly with that, and it looks really pretty. And then the second one, I really, really dig that yellow that's in the bunny ear. And so I found a yellow to match. This is Canary, Art Gallery Fabrics Pure Solids in Canary. And you can see that that just picks up that yellow in their ears. I really, really love that. So these 2 will go together. And I will reuse some of these solids with other prints too. So we'll get to that in a second. And I did write them all down. So part of the last video was make sure you keep a pen and paper with you when you're quilting. I like to have a pad next to me. I can write down my ideas. I can decide, I can write down measurements. You know, when you're menopausal like me, it's if you don't write it down, it's just gone from your brain right away. So I did write these down. And so the hop to it is going to do the canary and the quartz pink. So that's those blocks done. The next one we have is the hop to it in bluebell. Same print, different colorway. So you can just imagine what I'm going to do with this one, right? I am doing the parrot green. Let's see if I can find where that is. Oh, it's in here probably. Yep. So I'm using this green for more than one block, more than one print. So this one will go with the bunnies. How cool is that, right? So it's going to go with the bunnies, but it's also going to go with the goldfishies. So this is treading water, and this is the bluebell print. And I'm going to use that green for both of these as a border. Isn't that pretty? It just matches so, so nicely. So that's one border on each of these two, that parrot green. This is called parrot. And I really just love that green. I think I've mentioned it a million times before, but that green is my favorite color, and that shade of green just does it for me. And so the next one is that same hop to it print, and I chose this color called hibiscus. Look at that, how pretty that is. And if you see these bunnies, they have hibiscus colored ears. So I'm going to do those together. I really, really love this color too. The hibiscus color just does it for me. I really like that. So there's that one. I think I'm using this for something else too, though. Let's see. Nope, just this one. So hibiscus with the bunnies. And then the second iteration of this block is going to have a color called Undeniably Red. And that is because those goldfish actually have red in their bodies. And look how pretty that looks together. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I like that together. So that's Undeniably Red, and that one's going to go with these goldfish. I'm so excited to cut these fabrics and start this quilt. Super, super excited to do that. Alrighty. Moving swiftly on, we have these two blocks, which is the same treading water print, but this print is in blossom. So same goldfish, just different leaves and background. I found this color, which is called Mirage Blue. How pretty is that? Look at that prettiness. And then check this out. Bam. Isn't that nice? I think that's going to look fantastic. I love this blue, and it's just the perfect match. Mirage Blue. And so this one and this one will go. And then, of course, we have to have something pink. So I am going to use Raspberry Rose for the other block with the goldfish. I think that is going to look really pretty together. So that's those two. This is definitely going a lot faster when I don't have to like pull the bolts and guess and figure out. So this one is also going to use the Raspberry Rose that I just showed you for these guys. And here, I'll just show you how pretty that's going to look. Isn't that pretty? This one's called No Rush because of the turtles, right? So this Raspberry Rose is going to go with both of these. And then the second block of No Rush is going to also use that quartz pink that we were using in the beginning for the bunnies. I'm going to use the same one for this because you can see that in the shell of the turtle, that color's right in there. And I think that's going to look very pretty. So this quartz pink is going to be for both the Hop to It in Blossom and the No Rush in Blossom. That's the thing I love about Tula's prints too, is you know, you find a coordinating color, and in that particular colorway, it's going to go with all of it. So it looks really, really pretty. Let's talk about No Rush and Bluebell. In the entire line, I think this is one of my favorite prints. I love turtles, and I just love these colors. These colors are my jam. So what I picked to go with these two is, let's see, actually these two colors here. So this is Maldives. This one's called Maldives, and this one's called Ocean Waves. And you can see that they're both going to look fabulous with this print. There's Ocean Waves, and it really does pick up like the body of the turtle. So there's that one. And then the other one, because we're doing two of the same print, this one is going to go with Maldives. Pretty that looks together. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love it. I love it, and I can't wait to make this block. So there's the other one for the No Rush and Bluebell. I then have two of these, and I will be doing, one of them will have the tile blue color, and I think that looks really nice. The contrast is really nice. I haven't decided which pup I'm going to fussy cut. I have a feeling I'm going to do the Frenchie, but I'm not sure. We'll see. So this one goes with this. And then this one is going to be with the London red, which is more of an orangey red. I don't know how it comes across on camera, but it's more of an orangey red. And check that out. So if I do this puppy right here, the golden, look how pretty that's going to look. So that's the plan for that one. And that's London red. I love the color names, you know, they're so creative. And then last but not least, I'm only doing one of these. Remember, I need 15 fat quarters. And so even though I had 4 prints and I did 2 of each, I had to eliminate one. And so I just took out one of these guys. And this one I'm going to coordinate with this color called Light Citron, because I thought the Chihuahua is just so stinking cute. And look how cute that goes together. So those go together really, really good. I love the way they look. Couple things. I did use Best Press when I pressed all of my fat quarters because they're all nicely pressed. I mean, I went through the whole thing. And so I did use Best Press. I like Best Press as a starch because it's super, super light. I don't even think it's really starch. It's doesn't flake. There's no like pieces. Like sometimes you use starch and there's little bits and pieces on the fabric. There's none of that happens, and it doesn't give you a stiff fabric, but it does put a little bit of body into it. And we'll talk about why that's important once we start sewing. But I don't like super, super stiff fabric. When I was a beginning quilter, in my mind, it made sense that the stiffer the fabric was, the better it would go together evenly, like where it was supposed to. And I mean, I used to starch my fabric so much that it was like shuffling a deck of cards when you got pieces in your hands. And it created a whole bunch of problems for me that I didn't even know I was struggling with just because of the starch. I did the Nebula quilt a couple years ago with Julie Herman at Jaybird Quilts. Shout out to Julie because I love her patterns too. And she doesn't starch at all. She did some YouTube videos and I followed along, and she doesn't starch. And I found that wiggling the fabric is a little bit easier when there's not a ton of starch in it. I can make my points meet better. I just became a better quilter because of those techniques that I learned. And so I'm hopeful that during this video series, I will share something with you that'll be that eureka aha moment. And you're going to be a better quilter because of something that you heard me say or something that you read in the comments, hopefully. And I wanted to bring up also, guys, that this is a community kind of thing. I really want us to all participate. So if you've got a hack or a tip or a trick that you use, or you think that maybe some other color would work better with some of these blocks that I've picked out, please put that in the comments. I would love to know. I'd love to start a discourse, a conversation around this quilt. That's the whole idea. So remember, it's the Shipwrecked pattern by Sweet Tea Pattern Company. We carry that here at Soul Stitchery. All of these fabrics are available at Soul Stitchery. If you've listened this long, I have a secret to tell you. So my plan is at the very end of the quilt, when I'm all done making it, I am going to make a kit simultaneously as I'm making the quilt. And I will be raffling off that kit for anybody who participates in this video process. So unless you've listened all the way to the end, you really won't know. If you did listen until now and you know that I'm going to offer that kit as a giveaway, please put that in the comments. I want to know who knows so I can know who's going to play. I think it'll be fun. I think it's going to be a beautiful quilt once it's all together. I can't wait to sew it with you. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for following along. Thanks for watching my videos. I appreciate your support so much. And I look forward to the Wednesday because hopefully with no more technical issues, we'll have these videos out every Wednesday for you to watch. If you have any questions, just stick them in the comments or send me a message. I would love to help. I'd love to be part of your quilting process. Thank you again for your support. Have a great night. And I'll see you next Wednesday with the next episode of One Quilt from Start to Finish.